The project is a European Union funded UNDP implemented project. It's very much about trying to help as best we can the rural communities of Papua New Guinea. The project's focus in Enga province. Certainly we work with national authorities like the Climate Change Development Authority and clearly with the Enga provincial government. The objective of the project is to try and to produce more and better agricultural produce from the same amount of land. This is why it's the Sustainable Land Use project. It's very much about looking to improve the livelihoods of rural communities, the people on the ground, in a way that's sustainable and helps them adapt to the changes being brought through climate change and other such challenges. UNDP's role is to provide, it's to deliver the project in the field, and it's working in partnership with the Enga Provincial Administration, with community-based organisations and communities themselves. We provide technical assistance and expertise to help farmers and rural communities, in particular women. We work with community-based organisations to provide seed funding to help them expand their businesses. And we provide advice on how they can come together to access markets and link them up with the private sector to give them opportunities to sell their produce. The project really is looking at three things. It's looking at improving the productivity of the land using the same amount of land. How do we do it in a more sustainable way? And with that, the project is also trying to address climate change, both adaptation but also mitigation. So it's trying to protect the natural resources of provinces like Enga, where they have a large forest cover, and we know that's very important for carbon storage and for climate mitigation, but also looking at how we increase productivity in a more climate-friendly way to help farmers. And then finally, we're very much looking to work with communities to open that access to markets. So how do we take some of the most remote communities in Papua New Guinea and give them an opportunity to access the private sector and sell their produce, bring incomes into communities, help put children in school, people access health centres, improve infrastructure, and work with the provincial authorities to think about the long-term opportunities for these communities and beyond. Fundamentally, the project aims to improve the livelihoods of people. And we know in Papua New Guinea this is a very important question. The project is very much focused on rural and remote communities, and we know that about 80% of Papua New Guineans live in rural and remote communities. At the moment, many of those communities don't necessarily access services, or they're a long way from government services and other such opportunities for improving their lives. The project very much is about the grassroots and taking development from at the national level through the provincial level and into the communities. In doing so, we think we can reach the most number of people in need. There's probably fewer questions of national importance that Papua New Guinea must address than climate change. And when you look at the impacts of climate change, particularly changing weather patterns, and the reality that many people, in fact about 80% of Papua New Guineans in some way rely on agriculture, either for subsistence, for food, for income, or a combination of the both. So we know that the impacts of climate change and agriculture are very direct and very immediate. Projects like this are looking to try and build that resilience with communities. It's a long-term endeavour, but the truth of it is that we have to start somewhere. And the best place that we think to start is at the grassroots, with the people, with the communities, with the provincial administrations, and working in close partnership with the European Union, with the national government through the Climate Change Development Authority, the Conservation Environment Protection Authority, with the provincial government, with the local level governments. I think it's a really good place to start. But ultimately, this is very much about doing the greatest amount of good we can in addressing climate change, protecting biodiversity, taking pressure off communities to give them greater access to opportunities. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank the European Union for its generous support, and in particular through the European Union, the citizens, the people of Europe who value their partnership with Papua New Guinea, and I think ultimately have allowed us an opportunity to be part of a global initiative on landscape management and improving the opportunities for people for better livelihoods. So I'd like to thank the European Union for its continuing support and certainly its partnership with UNDP as well.